What is up, guys? Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com, and let us add our next enemy in our game, and that enemy is our frog enemy. And we're gonna learn some tips and tricks while creating this enemy, which you can apply in your everyday game development. I mean, everything we learned so far you can apply, but this is something special because not that many people know how to achieve what am I going to show you right now. So pay close attention. If we go here in the sprites and then into our enemies folder and search for the frog enemy, here he is. This is our frog enemy, which you see he is a sprite sheet, so we need to slice him up. And for that, we need to set the sprite mode to multiple, go into the sprite editor, click slice here to slice him up, and click apply. So voila, here is our frog. The next thing to do is create the animations of the frog. Now select frog 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and I'm gonna drag and drop it right here, and bam, it will prompt us to create a new animation. We know that we need to go in the animations folder, create a new folder, which I'm gonna call frog animations, hit enter to save it, and inside of this folder, we are gonna save our animation. Now this animation, we are gonna name it frog jump left. Now it's important to name it like this. You will see later on because we will have frog jump right, but I need to explain some things so that you understand why are we creating left and right animations. So here we have frog jump left and click save. Now we also want to create the idle animation for the frog. So let me just go here and create a new animation clip. So create a new clip. This is going to be frog idle left. Now name it like this, yeah, idle left, and hit enter, and we're gonna drag and drop frog underscore 1 image right here. And if I go back, put this tab right here, rename my frog inside of the inspector panel to frog, set the scale to 0.3 because the frog is a little bit huge. We don't want the frog eating the player. The next thing that we are going to do is add a box collider on the frog, so box collider 2D. We are also going to add here a rigid body 2D, and voila, we are good to go. Now, in regards to the frog and its animation, if we go here and preview the jump left, you see this is the jump left animation. Now, in order to see this in action better, we need to go and create the script. In the assets folder, scripts and enemy scripts, I'm gonna right click and create a new C# script, which I'm gonna call frog script. Attach it on the frog itself and double click it to open it in Mana Develop, of course. Come on, why is this playing with me? Tag it with the class tag, hold enter to give a little bit of space like this. And now here, we need a couple of variables. The first one is going to be our private animator, which I'm going to call anim_is_always. We also need a private bool, which is going to be animation_started, and a private bool, which is animation_finished. We will see later on for what we are going to use these, but just type them out now. We are also going to have a private int jumped times to count how many times has the frog jumped. And we have a private bool, which is going to be jump left, which by default is going to be equal to true. Because we are going to be able to jump to the left and we are going to be able to jump to the right side. Now here inside of our awake function, so void awake, we are going to do what? We are going to get a reference to the animator, so animator is equal to get component animator because we need him to animate the frog. Below the update function, we are going to create a coroutine that's going to make our frog jump. So I enumerator frog jump like this. We are going to yield return, so yield return new wait for seconds, and we are going to wait in a random range value, so random range from 1, not 0, and 4. So between 1 and 4, we are gonna wait that many seconds, and then we are simply going to make our frog jump. Now here we're gonna say if jump left is true, we are gonna call our anim, and we are gonna play the frog jump left animation. So frog jump left. Else we are gonna play another animation, but that will come later on. The important thing here is that our jump left animation is set to true. Now we will go here and create a private string coroutine name, which I'm gonna call frog jump, like this, and without the parenthesis at the end. In the start function, we are gonna call start coroutine, and we are gonna pass the coroutine name to start that coroutine. We are gonna do the same thing right here in the coroutine, and now we are gonna see the frog jumping in effect and see how many problems we have that we're gonna start fixing. So if I hit the play button, notice now the frog is going to jump. You see, this is the first problem that we have, is that the frog is crazy. You see, the frog is drunk, and because of that, it's doing some crazy things. As you can see, what is this right here? Well, the first thing is that we are not ending the frog animation. So we are not ending that animation. What we need to do is we need to create another function here, which I'm going to call void animation finished. This is going to end this animation and play the idle animation. So here we're simply going to call anim play, and here I am going to pass frog idle left. So frog idle left is the animation that we're going to play. Now, how are we going to call this function? First of all, let me show you some cool trick. If we go here in Unity, and if we select the frog, notice here into our animation panel, we have these frames. Now, what we can do, we can go on the last frame, for example, here, and I can click on the plus button. You see, I can click on this plus button, which is right here. You see, you have a preview. You have below these animations. Right next to it, you have samples. Then here you have this field where you can enter these samples, and you have these two buttons. One is add keyframe. Other is add event. When you click on add event, this adds something that is called an animation event. What is that? Well, this animation event allows us to add this keyframe or this animation event at a specific frame in the animation. And then we can use this animation event, select the function here. When you click on it, you see it goes blue. When you click on it, it goes blue. And in the inspector panel, you have here a drop-down list, and you can select functions from scripts that are attached on the game object that carries this animation. So you can select our animation finished function, which is this one right here that we have created. And that means that this function will be called when the animation hits this frame where we added the animation event. As a proof, I'm simply going to say print here, and I'm going to say event called. Notice now what is going to happen. And I go here in the console, hit the play button. So I'm going to hit the play button. Notice now, you see the animation is called. It's being printed. The reason for it is because we hit that last frame in the animation. So the first thing that we need to do is uncomment this, and we're going to play the idle animation when we hit the last frame, which will, well, make our frog back to the idle. So notice now when the frog jumps, it goes back to idle. See, jumps, goes back to idle. It will jump again after the random range number, and it will, well, then go back to the idle. Now, first of all, notice how the frog is jumping. You see, what is this? This is not what we want. The frog animation, the jump one, is very short. What we need to do is we need to take this last frame, we need to move it over here. Let me just say where I'm gonna move it. I think I'm gonna move it at frame 18. So like this. So we are going to have 18 frames in this animation, just like this. So 18 frames, and on the 18th frame, or actually here on the 18th frame, we are going to add this, well, this last frame. But in the middle, between these, we are going to drag and drop these animations, and this event needs to go now because we are going to add it here on the last frame. So now we are going to go in the project. Let me just find the frog, which is here in enemies, and here it is. So here is our frog. You need to take the image, which is this one, frog_2, and you need to add it here. So add it here. Let me just go. This is 1, this is 2. Okay. So add it here and here. You simply drag and drop it this many frames how we want up until the last frame. So here and here. I know this process is, well, boring, but this is how are we going to fix this frog animation. You need to drag and drop these frames everywhere where I am dropping them. So between the first and the last frame, all of these animations are going to be the same. So here and here, something like this. Drag and drop it. I think there is one more left, like this, and voila, we are good to go. So now we are gonna have a smoother animation in regards to the frog jump. And here for the samples, I'm gonna set them at 30. And let me just zoom in the animation tab right here. So we have 1, 2, or from 0 up to frame 18. Well, actually, I'm gonna delete this last frame because we are gonna go up from 0 up to frame 17, because in total, we're gonna have 18 frames, remember? And this is the frame 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the frame 17, which is the last frame. On the last frame, which is this one right here, add again the animation event and go here and select animation finished. Let's test it out now and see how this looks like. So you see now, but what is this? Again, we have some kind of problem. What is this right here? Well, we need to animate our frog still. Somewhere in the middle, so we have 18 frames. On the 9th frame, which is the middle, what we are gonna do, and let me just see where the frog currently is. So the frog is here. Let me just select it, move it a little bit down so that it is on the ground. You see like this, the frog is on the ground. Go on frame 9, because that's the middle of our animation. We have 18 frames. Divide that by 2, that's 9, because 9 plus 9 is 18. Quick maths. Anyways, we are gonna click on the recording button, and we are going to position, you see the frog, we're going to move the frog something like this, a little bit upwards, and we're going to move it to the right like this, or to the left, excuse me. Now, we are also going to go on the last frame, and we are going to hit the recording button and set the frog to jump down something like this. So this is our animation. It will be broken, but I will tell you how to fix it. You see, this is our animation. You see, the frog like jumps over there and then it falls down. It looks kind of funny, but in order to fix it, let me just see that in the preview. I need to see this in the preview so that we can see how funny this is. You see? Let me just... Okay, enough about being silly. How can we fix this? Well, you select the X position. You select the X position, which is this one right here. Make sure that you select the correct one from the middle and simply drag the frames right here, which will now make our frog jump like this. You see now, it makes our frog jump like this. Again, go back from here and from here. So it jumps in a, well, parabolic way. So if I take the highlight tool, previously the frog jumped like this, but now the frog jumps like this. So this was previously, and this is the current one. And you can see, you see that preview now. So if we go back now and hit the play button, you will see, well, the frog is jumping a little bit smoother. Notice now, you see, this is way, way better. You see, again, way, way better. But we have another problem. We want the frog to jump here and here and here and here like this. We want the frog to jump like that. Now, what is the problem with that? Well, the problem is, notice now, when I hit the play button, you see the frog jumps and goes back to the initial position. Jumps again, goes back to the initial position. Let me see that. Okay, you see that? It jumps, then goes back, jumps, then goes back. Well, this is something that Unity does not provide a quick fix here. So you cannot edit the animation and fix this because we animated the position of the frog and now this animation is position dependent. How can we fix this? Well, we're gonna fix this in the next video because we already did a lot, and in the next video, we will wrap up the frog's animation. We will see how we can fix this and we will add more animations, and then you will understand why we added this frog jump left, because then we will have frog jump right, so on and so forth. Anyways, this was the setup for our frog. We saw and explained the problems that we have in our animation. So the next thing to do is fix all of this here. And Fahir here from AwesomeTunes.com. I will see you in the next video.